The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
Thank you everyone for joining us again. I don't know why I threw my arms out wide like I'm on CCW Live again, but I'm not. I'm on PWU. That's what you're listening to. I am the 5-star man, Asa Gray, at the end of the table with just the judgiest, most judgmental eyes I've seen in a very long time, the Big D, Dalton Anthony.
It looked like you were going to do wonderful. Right? Wonderful!
I almost did, apparently.
Oh, my bad. Yo.
I got him. It is a two-man show tonight. Shannon is taking the night off, and Allie is also going to... She came in and helped us out with CCW Live, which was greatly appreciated, but she's also taking the night off. There was no Mr. 100 5-star man last night. I don't know if they're going to do PZ85 After Dark tomorrow or not.
I'm sure they will. I wouldn't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I haven't heard if they're going to do that or not. But we are here with all of the biggest news in the world of wrestling, all 4.5 stories of it, because it turns out there was like a thing that happened over the weekend, and that's just kind of dominating the majority of the talkosphere, is what I've dubbed it.
WWE bring back Saturday night's main event?
They did.
Oh.
But it's a bunch of like has-beens and never-weres, so it's just weird.
Oh.
That was like a kayfabe article, like a bunch of WWE has-beens and never-beens put on pathetic indie show. Like, no, of course we're talking about All In. We will be covering that. We got to watch that live via TV because Sears Center ticket website machine broke.
So hard.
I did it. I got the bid in. The one bit. Oh, I don't like hosting. Stop looking at me with those judgmental
Dude,
eyes.
I'm used to looking at Allie, who was just like, well, when are we going to say words? And I'm like, I don't word well. But now it's me and you. You're going to hear all of my stutters today.
I need Shannon to just feed off of. I'm an energy vampire. Like him and Jesse. Just, I can do it. So we're going to talk about All In. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. There are some other pretty big stories of the week, though. And then we will go over Raw and SmackDown like we do every week. And we're going to cover All In, because I said that enough times already. And then, of course, this Saturday is Stride Pro Wrestling, so we're gonna cover that as well, because a lot of really great people over there, and we love just talking about them. So, but to start things off, this was announced today or yesterday. I don't know. These last couple days have been a blur because cars and insurance is stupid. But WWE has announced that the Mixed Match Challenge is going to make its return. I thought the first one was wildly unnecessary. With, you're adding another hour of wrestling that you need to watch a week.
Well, it was usually only like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was a lot shorter.
It was unnecessary to a certain extent. I think it was really cool to have it. Mm-hmm. But what they should have done, like if I was the one in charge of this, and I get why I'll explain, like, we'll talk about the reason they did it the way they did, but the way they should have done it is it should have been like the opening match of Raw and SmackDown for 4 straight weeks. So that way, whenever you had the main event at, let's say, the pre-show of blah, 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 one of their pay-per-views, you could do it there or the opening match of a pay-per-view. I get why they can't do that, because you have people like Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, but it would have been better to have like a Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and then that be your finals, because, we have Survivor Series coming up in Asa 3 months.
Don't remind me. Because I'm just going to get it. The build to it's just going to be angry because it's going to be for brand supremacy.
And you're right. I'm just getting you ready for it right now. Oh. So, like, it would make more sense to have that going out through more of the year than just, like, those 4 months.
The only thing I'll disagree with you there is that I like that it wasn't part of the main Raw and SmackDown show, because it didn't tie up any of the people involved in it, like, from their main storylines. But also, we got stuff that was so wildly out of character that was so much better than anything they were doing. The Braun Alexa team.
That was great.
And Miz and Asuka, with Asuka's winning streak being on the line and this counting towards that.
Yeah.
Was so I loved that. So I wasn't being serious when I said it was unnecessary. Like, yeah, it wasn't super necessary, and
we got fun stuff out of it.
But we got a lot of really fun stuff out of it.
Can't I wear my own shirt? No. I sweated in this one. Means you're 10 times stronger.
Like,
Gotta get the fulcrum point of the car.
Oh, from the fulcrum and just lift up, stand up, and flip the car. So not only are we getting the Mixed Match Challenge 2, the first one was for, like, it was charity. Every team was assigned a charity. I don't think we've gotten any news on that, though, if it's going to be, like, a charity thing or if this is just an extra thing that they're going to do.
Because the last one ended... The last one ended... Well, this year. They're doing 2 a year. Because this was very much a thing that happened this year already.
I'm trying to double check because I see the full press release here, but it's not saying anything about charities on the press release, so that may have just been like a one-time deal. And this is always something they could always go and revisit.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, let's see, it's going to have, it's returning on Tuesday, September 18th. So, that's only 2 weeks away. And it's going to have 14 episodes. They will air at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Dalton, that is 9 p.m. in Central.
Dude, I don't want to hear
it. Too bad. We'll get there on All In. A pre-show will air at 9:50, and then their 30-minute episodes will feature 2 matches. We got the teams on Raw. We are getting Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, Team Little Big, which...
There's your winners this year.
Yeah, probably. Bobby Lashley and Sasha Banks. I really like that team. Finn Balor and Bayley, which wasn't that who...
No, it was Finn Balor and Sasha Banks.
No, but but Bayley was the one that was begging for Balor to be her partner, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
In the lead up to it.
Yeah, and then it ended up being...
Sasha. Yeah. Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Bear with me. Dark horse to win the whole thing.
Oh, God.
Jinder's whole, like calming, guru thing.
No.
And psycho Alicia Fox.
We better get more than 1 week at least.
I'm into it. And then Kevin Owens and Natalya, which is cool that after he quit last week that he's already signed on to do this.
Yeah.
But Team Canada. You were a cool motorcycle
You think
rider.
Tony Flood's going to get a piece of that?
I mean,
he is the Northern Saint.
He is the Northern Saint. And they have similar entrance music, I hear. On representing SmackDown is Team Asuka, The Miz and Asuka again, and they won it last time, didn't they?
Yep, because Asuka was still on her winning streak.
Jimmy Uso and Naomi, who are also a team last year, as well as Rusev and Lana, the Ravishing Rusev Day, dear Lord.
Which gave us the greatest chant of all time.
Lana is the best.
Lana number one. My chest doesn't make the same sound this does.
WWE Champion AJ Styles and SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair.
Hate that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because you can't have them ever lose unless some sort of shenanigans goes on.
Because Charlotte was Women's Champion during the last one, I'm pretty sure.
She teamed with Bobby Roode.
Yeah, and like that one, okay, cool, but you can't have your 2 champions just lose.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You can.
Shouldn't, but you can. And then the last team is R-Truth and Carmella.
That's my dark horse to win.
That I'm glad they're doing something more with that than just the like weird bits they've been running on the last few like weeks of SmackDown. With R-Truth, and then like, did you watch SmackDown this week?
I have to watch SmackDown and YouTube clips.
Okay, did you see any of the bits with R-Truth and like him trying to talk to Carmella, but he turns around Maurice.
Yeah, I've
and
seen
doesn't
that.
understand that it's her, and then wonders why Carmella would be married to Miz because goofy R-Truth. He doesn't understand what's going on.
He is a treasure.
He really is.
Like that is our generation's Coco Beware, and I say that with the most because like in 30 years, whenever they're doing like holographic disc podcasts, there's going to be a bunch of smart ass kids being like, "Well, R-Truth is in the Hall of Fame. Anybody can be in the Hall of Fame." That's our Coco.
God, you're right.
I know I am.
I still just
I love him.
Him coming out in the Confederate soldier gimmick, in the outfit. In what was it like Virginia?
Yeah, it was West
something
Virginia.
Like that. That is gold. But no, this is cool. There's some interesting pairings here. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was like, wow, I'm actually between Jimmy and Naomi and Rusev and Lana, I'm really surprised that they aren't doing Daniel Bryan and Brie as a team.
Well,
and then I was like, oh, well, no. Brie and the Bellas played a pretty heavy role on Raw last night. She's probably gonna now that the thing now she'll probably just stick mostly to Raw. Then last night on SmackDown, of course, they are building more towards the I'm stupid is what I'm getting at, is because I completely forgot about the Hell in a Cell mixed tag. They're probably going to do a mixed tag match between Almas and Vega versus Bryan and Brie. So,
well, just keep Brie away from suicide dives.
but I thought that, but I kind of felt like that was almost an easy pairing you could have done.
Yeah,
But-
and that would have probably been the crowd favorite for everything, just because of Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah.
They are gonna have to boo Team Little Big. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh, no, it's like, Braun we'll get to it on Raw. We're going to keep moving. But so, yeah, Mixed Match Challenge will starts back up Tuesday night, September 18th.
That's the thing I hate about it. I'm sorry for interrupting you. That's the thing I hated about it the most.
Is that it's after Smack?
It cuts into 205 Live, which granted, I haven't watched 205 Live in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you already gave them the scraps of TV time.
Mm-hmm.
You're only putting it on the network. The guys that bust their tails every week for 205 Live aren't getting Facebook Live where they're at least getting 30,000 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just depend on network subscribers. And let me tell you, I'm a really lazy network subscriber. I use it once a month. That's about it.
Yeah, that is one negative side to it.
Yeah, I just realized. I was like, I knew there was something I absolutely hated about it.
I completely forgot about that too. But yeah, so yeah, Tuesday night, check that out. They tend to be fun, and like I said, you get a lot of that character development that you wouldn't normally get on Raw. That's just so wildly non-canon. It's basically the WWE Elseworlds.
Yeah.
Next up, so we also got the first. I thought it was half. It may not be half. It was the first chunk of the WWE 2K19 roster reveal.
The only reason you're so unsure about that is because of the hissy fit I threw.
You really did. We need to get on. We need to do better about this pre-show thing, Patreon thing. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Dalton, hit not the entire list because
You just want the people they've given
I
you
don't care.
overalls for? The ones that you're going to care about?
if they have that, and any standouts. Like if there's anyone, because here's my thing with the roster reveal is I used to get super excited for them until I realized why. Like there's no one that's going to be super surprising that's on the current roster. Like, because I kind of expect everyone to be in the game, even though I know that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So really the only thing that I would be super surprised by is if there was like someone who's either not with the company or like a legend that's super cool that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, so like the last...
So just give me your highlights.
So we have Undisputed Era, all three of them. They're going to be on disc day one, which they should be.
Okay, so Roderick Strong was on last year's game?
He'll be in, but he may not be Undisputed Era. Although he better be because that was WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was that takeover that we didn't see. We do have Kairi Sane. She's going to be in the game. Her model actually looks really cool.
Again, every time someone mentions like, oh, their model looks really good, it effing better.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's 2K19, you're on PS4 and Xbox One, both of which have pro-level systems with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Video games have never looked better, and yeah, you can't put out something that like, you don't. To me, that's like a gimme. Like you don't know. No, I'm not patting you on the back because you made the graphics look good.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if it was a UFC game. I remember that because somebody said, like, why don't you give us more DLC fighters? And one of the dev people said it's because anytime we make a new character model, it legitimately is the price of, like, a low-end, brand-new SUV. Like, that's how much it costs to make one of those.
Right.
And I get, like, with WWE, whenever you've been using the same Cena for 5 years, you don't have that issue as much.
And, like, Randy Orton's entrance is literally the exact same animation from the previous game.
Maybe a different camera cut, if that. They didn't do that. They did it on Gold Dust. That's the one I'm thinking, where like they gave us a different camera view. So yeah, no, we have Undisputed Era, Kairi Sane. Here you go. Here's one. Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
And then the biggest one that they've announced and we've seen screenshots for, like, which is super awesome that we're getting this in a 2K game. We are getting, for the first time ever, NXT Street Profits, because I need somebody to beat for my squash matches.
Not worth the bit.
Yeah,
I
it's real dumb.
I did like in the group chat, I think it was Hunter, who was like, who is Montez Ford?
Yeah, which again...
And like you even said, like, I don't know. And for a split second, I was like, is he asking Dalton? Like, is that like someone that they would know in common from up there? But
no.
And then it was just like, oh, nope, that's one of the Street Profits.
But again,
it's the one because it's not the one that I have an entirely unfair, irrational dislike of. I am not going to say anything negative about the man or the performer, but
is that a stupid bowl of cereal?
There is something about Angelo Dawkins doing the stirring motion that just it it hits me, and like I don't know what it is. I can't handle it though.
It gets you deep in the brainstem, doesn't it?
It like on a fundamental, like primal level. Like, was one of my ancestors murdered by someone as he was like stirring a pot and he was hitting the back of the head from behind? Like, I don't know, but it weirdly triggers me in a way that I'm just like, I hate that.
Yeah. And like the thing of it is if you would have shown me, because I know Angelo Dawkins because he's been in NXT for like 6 years.
Yeah, he's been in there forever.
Like, so if you would have shown me the Street Profits together, I'd have been like, oh yeah, cool. When you just single out the other guy, I don't know that dude's name.
Right, yeah.
I'd have been like, oh, that's Angelo Dawkins' partner. He doesn't have a name. That's Street Profit number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought there. Yeah, no, and I really hope we don't only, like, I hope this wasn't half, because if it's another half and then I have to wait for 30 superstars to be announced through DLC, I'll lose my mind. I better get another 110. The cool thing, like, in this roster, I feel like it's neat that they're doing live videos now, because, like, I remember, I want to say it was 2K17. Yeah, Suplex City, where we got a still for 4 weeks, and it was just, like, a random, like, animation still, or photo, and there was hints to who was in the game. And you had to, like, dissect the picture apart to see who was in the game. And then they would throw in, like, little ones that weren't going to be in the game, but it would be just enough to make you think about it. Like, that was cool. But it's one of those, like, now they're just kind of like, all right, here it is. I think the last time I was genuinely shocked by one was 2K15 whenever CM Punk was in it. Because they were like, they just like, yeah, CM Punk's in the game. You know he walked out like 6 months ago, right? Oh, now you're tweeting at him? Oh, that's why I won lawsuits.
Yeah, that's
Whoops.
that'll do it.
Every time.
So, yeah, I mean, again, like I've made it very clear on these shows before, I just give me a game that controls like No Mercy, but looks like 205 Live.
What?
Looks
like 205
I'm trying
Live?
I want it to be live action.
Oh, gotcha.
But I control them. Just like
so
I'm just gonna watch 205 Live with the controller in my hand, and then I'm just gonna play as Leo Rush because he just does all the stupid stuff.
Oh, he's not gonna be in the game this year. It's gonna be he might be
DLC maybe too.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to find. There's a story. There was background story to this next story, and that's where I got sidetracked, and that's why I said 205 Live. Okay, found it. So, but this next story that was there more you wanted to mention on 2K19?
I'm really excited for the collector's edition.
Oh,
I already have somebody that's going to buy the robe samples for $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like...
You didn't want to keep those?
No. I just wanted the pop. I wanted the pop in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Next up, real quick... Oh, I skipped one, but that's going to be longer anyway. Velveteen Dream is going to be wrestling for Evolve.
Yeah.
That's going to be happening Friday and Saturday, September 7th and September 8th. That's happening up in Maryland. And they announced his opponents. On Friday night, Velveteen Dream will be wrestling Austin Theory. And on Saturday at Evolve 113, which that one is going to be in New York, it looks like, he is going to be wrestling Darby Allin. Both of those are names that I am not familiar with, so there's not a whole lot to say previewing those matches-wise, but I think it's super cool that, because we know Evolve and WWE have been working together in general, so this is a super cool thing. So it's just cool that those guys are going to get exposure with someone like Dream.
So I just went on Velveteen Dream's Instagram page to like, because he posted pictures of him. I remember seeing it, and I wanted to see who he was wrestling. He then has, in 3 straight times, do you know that support indie wrestling or independent wrestling like shirt? It's the black and white one with like the 2 stars in the wrestling ring in the middle. He's posted it 3 straight times. It's that, but instead of wrestling, he just blacked it out and put support independent Dream.
I love that
for his Evolve dates. Yeah, he's a treasure.
And there was the thing that I was looking up is because apparently there were rumors that he was being sent to Evolve as punishment because of his takeover tights, which for those who don't know said "Call me up, Vince." And people were saying, like, there was a rumor going around that like
he had a bunch of heat for it.
That he had a bunch of heat for it. No one knew he was wearing those until he got to the ring, which is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Yeah. Shannon's gonna be so mad that we're censoring ourselves on the one he's not here on.
I didn't do it on CCW Live, so I'm going to do it on the show. I'm going to have a little bit
because we can't talk about it. We can't swear on CCW Live.
So
you also didn't say on CCW Live.
but I threw out the
until
A.
the end. Until the end.
A double cricket letter.
But Gabe Sapolsky actually went on Twitter and said, let's just because someone just kind of tweeted out that, oh, it's cruel that they would send Dream to Evolve after wearing the Call Me Up Vince things. Gabe Sapolsky's Twitter, @BookItGabe, let's just kill this narrative now. Dream was requested by us because of his history at the MCW Arena in Joppa, Maryland. We wanted a homecoming. He was then asked to do Queens to give the fans something special at La Boom. Dream was not sent by anyone. He agreed and wanted to. So, that's just
And I'm going to throw this out there. Vince McMahon would eat a pile of crap if it meant he could make money.
Yeah.
And so there's like the whole like, oh no,
And
Velveteen Dream is going to make Vince a lot of money.
Not only would he do that, he would then convince you that not only was it good, but you should do it too, but pay him for it.
Yeah. And it's also like the people like,
and he'd get some people because we have to admit, the man is a genius.
Yeah, he's a promoting genius. And it's back to the whole like, oh, nobody knew he was wearing those tights. Yeah, right.
Like that's
because like I know for a fact because I've just like people are people. Mm-hmm. He was chuckling when he got them airbrushed.
Oh yeah,
and then he was showing people. He'd be like, "You want to see him?"
Right?
Because like for one, if you have gear that looks like I know if I was backstage at a WWE event, I was with all my friends at NXT, I'd be like, "Y'all want to see the tights I'm wearing?" Mm-hmm. And then I would show them, and then everybody would laugh because that is empirically funny.
That said, there is something hilarious about like surprising all of your friends
with
something like that. So you may not have shown them, but the way WWE is set up is you have to walk through Gorilla in front of all the people in charge. Like, good luck covering that. I guess you could. But the story came from Triple H did a press conference after the fact and said something along the lines of, I wish I would have seen him ahead of time. Like, kind of playing up to the idea that
he's in trouble.
He didn't know.
But Triple H, again, probably thought that was hilarious.
Triple H also was telling people that Johnny Gargano was supposed to win that match, but he had a legit knee injury. And so they had to change it on the fly. Mm-hmm. Because kayfabe ain't dead.
Nah.
And he's working on a new level of it, which kudos for, because I love me some meta level kayfabe sometimes. The story that I skipped is that the PWI Top 500 came out this week.
Who was the top 10? Because that's the only ones I care about.
And that's the only ones that I have pulled up.
Do you ever hear Chris Jericho talk about that on his podcast?
No.
He's like, yeah, the PWI 500. It's like nobody really cares if you're 392. They really only care about like maybe the top 20.
Right.
Yeah, hit me with the top 10 though.
So I'm going to give you the top 10 and also Redditor the Sharpshooter, which he quoted SC Scoops. They also put what they got last year.
Okay,
so,
that'll be neat then.
Which is actually super interesting because there were a lot of big moves, which is a terrible segue to go into number 10 is The Miz, who last year was at number 10.
Oh, nice.
Number 9 was Tetsuya Naito. Last year he was at number 12.
Huh.
Number 8 is Cody. Last year he was at number 33. Roman Reigns is at number 7. Last year he was number 4.
Okay.
Number 6 is Braun Strowman. Last year he was number 34. Wait, Roman Reigns was number 4. Braun Strowman was number 34.
Yeah, but he's number...
And Braun Strowman is number 6 this year.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Seth Rollins. He was at number 16 last year. Number 4 is Brock Lesnar, moving up from number 25 last year. Ooh. Number 3 is, we're going to get to this in a second because I know your exact complaint, but I'm going to cut it off at the bud because it's the same thing that we talked about a couple years ago with the whole Bella thing.
I know you're going to hit me with it, but I keep going.
So Lesnar's at number 4. Number 3 is Kazuchika Okada. Last year he was number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is AJ Styles. He was also number 2 last year. And number 1, 2, I feel like nobody's surprised.
Marty Scurll.
Kenny Omega.
Damn it.
Number 5. He was number 5 last year. Now, this is a 85% kayfabe list.
Yeah.
So Brock Lesnar has held the Universal Championship for all this time. When he showed up, he was unstoppable.
Okay.
So, I don't know what the difference was between this year and last year.
I guess it's because he held the belt for an entire year.
Yeah.
Which, all right. And don't get me wrong. Asa, if I am ever in the PWI top 500, that number will get sewn on my tights. Like, I don't care if it's 496.
Right.
Any move my finish is going to be the 496, insert move here.
Right.
But, like, I just feel like it's one of those that, all right, so Scroll wasn't in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he should have been it. Ibushi.
Well,
And then you even have, like, Balor wasn't in it. Balor's been killing it this year. Like, you have people, and it's one of those, like, I get, like, kayfabe-wise, like, yeah, no. I mean, but if you're looking at it Lesnar should have been 1.
Well, I see why he's not, just because I really wish I knew what the time frame is. Like, what month it goes to per year, because it's not January to December, clearly.
Because Omega's not held that belt super long. Yeah.
So it had to have been after. It had to have been after he won the IWGP Championship, heavyweight championship. So I don't know where it is. I don't know how.
Hell, Chris
what they really
Jericho
use, but
should have also been in that top 10 list this year because he's the only man to my knowledge that's held both WWE and
New Japan Intercontinental Championships.
Yeah, and again, I don't have my phone open to like really double check me on that. But if there is, please hit me with it because I want to know.
But part of it also does include like quality of matches.
Yeah.
So I mean, AJ Styles is the longest running, which this happened recently, but AJ Styles is the longest running SmackDown champion.
Yeah, he just beat JBL not so long ago.
Which that was only a couple weeks ago. So, but he has been consistently putting on amazing matches. Same thing with Seth Rollins. Like he hasn't really, aside from the Intercontinental Championship, he hasn't really been in a lot of championship feuds, and he even had that stalling period, you could argue, where he was wrestling the Bar for like 3 straight months.
Oh yeah, that opening part of the month the opening part of the year
when Jason Jordan got hurt.
Yeah,
and they were kind of doing stuff there. So part of it is legit in-ring work. Some of it is like the high profile that you have of your matches, where you are on the card, and then a lot of it is kayfabe mostly. So it's never a list to be taken super seriously, but it is a fun thing to see how people rank.
Yeah. I think like SB was in it last year, I think, which was super cool. Like I know like Jericho says like, oh, it doesn't matter, but like anytime we see one of our guys in the PWI, like Marco will be in the top 250 next year.
Probably.
Like for sure. And that's going to be super cool to see.
So it's a fun thing to do. Like, but like I said, it's not something to be taken super seriously. That said though, I'm not trying to discredit anyone who gets excited when they see their name in it, because no, that's a great way to get recognition that you don't always get in the wrestling business. You don't always get that, this is a concrete way of saying, hey, someone sees you, someone recognizes what you're doing.
Because it's one of those, like with wrestlers, like I'm willing to put out money and say there's probably 25 to 30,000 independent wrestlers going right now in America.
Yeah.
You're in the top 500. Now, granted, I mean, you're also counting the fact that there's UK guys, there's Japanese guys, there's like people all over the world, and you're in the top 500. That's an amazing accomplishment. Just because it's one of those like, oh, people are recognizing your work. And
we are saying guys because there is a separate top women's list as well.
Yeah.
That just hasn't been released yet. So, but that issue is out, I believe.
Yeah, I know somebody was. I think Jeff Sin on my Facebook was trying to look for it. I bought a PWI years ago, and it was the top 500 because I wanted to see.
Maybe not, because the article that I found is it's the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. The cover is Kenny Omega because Omega is the alpha, but it says December 2018 on it.
That's not right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, magazines are like 2 months ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, anytime you get a magazine, it'll be 2 months ahead usually.
Okay, I'm used to comics where it's like, oh no, yeah, this
it's the week, it's the month of, when you get it.
Okay. But yeah, so that's cool. If you find one, check it out. It's a super cool thing. You might know some people in there. Like you said, SB was in there last year. I think I remember Joey Ryan tweeted something about being in it this year, and he's like in the top 150, I think, or or maybe like he was in the 150s.
Which is good because he only got resurrected like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, for a dead guy, he did really, really good. The next up story, if you can't tell the kind of slow week it's been, Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship was added to the Super Showdown, which is that giant house show like they did in Saudi Arabia, but this one is in
not scummy.
Australia. It's in Australia. No. Oh, that was Brooklyn. Never mind. I was going to do a 30 Rock reference because I have my finger on the pulse of.
Hit me with it. I love 30 Rock references.
Sex Criminal Boat. but that's what they called Manhattan. Not Australia. Also, didn't we find out we had an Australian fan? And I say had past tense because it was the episode that I made
Just
a
started railing.
very similar joke about Australia.
Yeah.
So they're probably...
Well, I mean, when you live in a place that was founded on British criminals, like...
I mean, that's the world at this point. Colonizing
True.
bastards. This match is going to be stupid. Buddy Murphy has been unreal. Like, I don't know how to describe it because I feel the whole best kept secret thing is true. Because I still have to shake the habit of thinking of the Seizure Bros.
I love them.
Because of Blake and Murphy.
But,
and
Blake and Murphy?
Wasn't it? Isn't it Buddy Murphy and
Wesley Blake.
Wesley Blake? Yeah.
I guess it was. Yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
Okay. So yeah, so it was Blake, but they were always Blake. They were just Blake and Murphy. They didn't.
Yeah,
have a
there it
tag
is.
team.
Yeah, no, my brain went out for a second.
I was like, wait,
apologize.
am I getting this wrong? Because I've tried to not think of them for a while.
Oh man, I missed them on NXT. I loved them.
See, and I like there was just something about them I never got into, and I don't, and like not through any fault of their own. It's just like when you're looking at who they're around, like when they're feuding with people like the Vaudevillains and the Lucha Dragons, whether or not they even feuded at any point, I'm not sure. But they just kind of felt super plain. Mm-hmm. And then they had Alexa Bliss, who was her, like, that was when she turned heel. And then she totally stole the show from them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I'll sit through Blake and Murphy so I can watch Alexa. Because she's amazing.
Yeah.
But no, he has just been clearly just working his ass off. He's in phenomenal shape. He is just putting on really, really fantastic matches with anyone he gets thrown in at 205 Live. And Cedric Alexander, I don't know what we can really say about Cedric Alexander that hasn't been said before because, again, the man is just
he's
stupid talented. So this the match is going to be really, really good. I'm not going to be up at 3 a.m. to watch it because they released the time zones a while back, and it's like 3 or 4 a.m.
When is it again?
I don't know the date.
Okay, I know it's in
I would
October,
need you to look that up, but it's. I mean,
I might try.
If it's so much effort. You have a box in your hand currently.
No, I'm saying I may try to watch it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Man, that's gonna be. I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be a weekend show though. I think that's
October 6th, which is a Saturday.
Okay.
So. Oh no, it's a Friday. Friday into a Saturday. Ooh.
Okay.
Nope. Gonna need sleep that night.
Yeah. So. That's going to be check it on the WWE Network. It's just $10 a month. WWEnetwork.com.
Whoa, sir. It is $9.99.
You round up. I round it up. And then the final story before we get to All In and those happenings. As we reported a few weeks ago, Itami was going to be sent over and he was going to compete in a few shows for Noah. Mm-hmm. Apparently those shows happened.
Yeah.
And Marufuji, who kind of brokered that deal, went to Twitter and said that he was very grateful to Triple H and WWE for allowing them to use Itami, and that if at any point he heard a voice calling, he would be opening to working with WWE.
Hear a voice. Hear a voice.
What I want, and what a lot of the internet also wants, is like a Liger thing.
Yeah.
Give him a one-on-one match with someone from NXT. I tried to combine Bobby Fish and Joey, and not Joey O'Reilly. It's the other one, the one that's on
O'Reilly?
Kyle O'Reilly.
You all right, buddy?
No, my brain. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, one, I've always been uncomfortable hosting, so I don't think I'm good at it. I have no idea how long we've been going. We were either way over or we're only at like 15 minutes. So I
think we're at 30.
My nerves are a little fried already because I don't super enjoy hosting. But someone hit my car with their car when my car was just parked on the side of the street.
It was divine intervention.
And so someone ran into it and just really messed it up good. So I have been on the phone and waiting for calls back from their insurance company. And then I'm getting this weird runaround because it's a whole thing. So like my nerves are shot. My brain is stupid. If you made it this far into the episode, I need you to know that I genuinely love and appreciate you.
Yeah.
Whoever you are listening to this, I really do. Even if you're some of the people who I have specifically called out on Nerd Up because of some of your gender, racial equality beliefs, at this moment, I love and appreciate you. Be a better human, but I love you, and I believe in you.
I was this close, like the mean part of my brain that's been coming out more and more. I was about to say, well, if like they structure a settlement for you, I stopped.
But then you did it anyway.
Well,
you did the whole okay, I was what I was gonna say, but I'm not really saying it.
Yeah.
No, you are, and you're garbage. Marufuji to NXT, not for a long-term deal, but
no.
Who in NXT? Because if we're only at 30 minutes. Okay, which we're not just going to BS and try to fill an hour. When we're done with the show, we're just going to call it. But so in NXT right now, not like a new sign, like not someone who's signing. Who are you wanting to see in a match with Marufuji?
Ciampa.
Not a bad answer, and definitely not a wrong answer. Definitely not the answer I expected you to give.
Who did you think I was going to say?
Who did you think I was? Who in NXT? Do you have just the biggest rager for?
Johnny?
I'm telling Cassius.
Oh, I forgot. Because they forget all the time.
You mean oh no?
Oh no.
Because you said oh. I filled it in. I'm great.
Nope, I changed my answer. Yeah, I want that because they would just have a Japanese match.
Yeah. Because it would be on TakeOver.
Yeah, it would.
Ain't nobody care on TakeOver. Like, that's the match Triple H would want to see.
Yeah, he's just...
Because that is why I, really want it to happen at TakeOver. Because Triple H would book the match he just wants to see. That's why he booked Liger versus Breeze. Because I know a lot of people are like, really? Tyler Breeze? Why? Because it's easy to forget when you look at him in the company now and his standing and how they're using him. Breeze is a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah.
And for a while, he was kind of the gatekeeper in NXT of when people were getting called up, they had to go through Breeze.
I will maintain one of my favorite NXT matches of all time is the Fatal 4-Way between Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Tyson Kidd, and Tyler Breeze.
Yep.
Like that match, and Tyler Breeze was a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh man, that was like the golden era of NXT for me.
That was so good.
Yeah.
You saying that just popped in my head. I don't remember if we mentioned it last week when we talked about Neville not being part of the WWE roster anymore. He's the first NXT champion to leave the company.
Yep.
So that's kind of a...
I already have two of his elites. The two elites they've made, I've already got.
Well, that's good because I feel like they're going to get real hard to find.
Oh, no, I found like 4 this weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, no, I can find them anywhere.
Was it the big purple cape one?
No, it's the Cruiserweight, King of the Cruiserweights.
Ooh.
I have both of them.
I like that King of the Cruiserweight one. That one
It's
cool.
the gold pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's super cool. So coming out of this weekend, of course, was All In. It was the biggest indie show of all time. Sold out 10,000 seat arena in under 30 minutes. I think they tweeted about it. It was like the final count was like 11,200 something.
I'm pulling that up right now.
So just huge congratulations. But there are a couple interesting stories coming out of it. I'll say they're not news and it's not something we would traditionally spend a lot of time on, but I feel like they're worth mentioning. The first one being that if you watched the event, whether you were there live or watching at home, you probably noticed that the main event was incredibly short and felt very rushed. That's because it went 12 minutes because the show went off the air at 10:59.
Yeah, they gave them a minute.
30 seconds. And it was supposed to go 28 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that heat is now falling apparently on Okada and Skrull because they went allegedly 10 minutes over and I didn't notice it in the match. So I wanted to go back and rewatch it. But apparently at a certain point, 10 minutes before they finished the match, the referee was pounding on the mat yelling, "Go home."
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed to cut their stuff. And granted, I don't know if this is fair or unfairly. I have no idea what it takes to run a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it takes to pace out a show like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they were getting, because Skrull's saying that because they were second to last, that's why everyone is getting it on them. But then you have someone like Meltzer who's saying, no, they were supposed to go 28 minutes. They went 12 minutes over. At 10 minutes before the match ended, the referee was saying "go home" very audibly and apparently very clearly, and I guess I'm just dumb and didn't notice it.
I wasn't paying attention to it
Yeah,
because that was the match I was most looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those and my very brief knowledge of being in ring,
mm-hmm.
you can never because I've done practice matches and I've done my one. I can't tell you how long something is.
Right.
I'm around some people that they can plot out a match and they know it's going to be exactly 12 minutes. I can't do that. And like my practice matches are going to be like, give me 8. All right, cool. We got done in 4. And we went through all of our stuff. And it's one of those just like there was a lot of moving parts in that match.
Right.
I was talking to Dan about it because Dan wanted to know my opinion on All In because he makes fun of me for like loving Ring of Honor and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to know my opinion on everything. And I know I loved all of it. He's like, what do you think about Okada and Scroll going long? And I said, all right, here's my opinion. We had Joey Ryan come out to a a group of druids in penis uniforms that took up 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Miss me with that Okada Scroll match going long. Because like they had fun. Like apparently, from what I've heard and like the things I've read, Janela and Paige went 4 minutes over, and it's one of those like it adds up. I hate that they had such a hard time to end on, because apparently they had to end at 10.
Oh yeah, no, because those are those pay-per-view deals, and like through Fight TV and Honor Club.
And I hate like it's one of those. Well, not Honor Club. I watch pay-per-views on Honor Club. They don't give an F.
See, but those are only through Honor Club.
Yeah.
They don't have any other streaming service that they have to go through.
Also, apparently, Fight TV sucked.
Really?
3 different people that watched it on Fight TV and were complaining about the stream.
Oh, wow.
We only had 2 cuts. Mm-hmm. And did I tell you I watched the next morning? Because once you pay for it, it's yours.
Yeah.
I watched it again, same 2 cuts. I haven't watched it on New Japan yet. I will do that to see if they have the same camera issues. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, the 2 times where we lost, I think during the Amel, Daniels, and Hangman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
And also, like, I love Matt Cross. We didn't need that match. And that was an 8-10 minute
and
match.
That was an unadvertised match, too.
Well, that was because they wanted to make sure the stream was strong.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought that was a good match. Yeah. It's just one of those like, and if he is catching heat for it, that's pretty. It's understandable, but it's also a bummer because that was going to be a breakout match for Marty.
And it very well could have been. I've seen a lot of the complaints I've seen about that match is no one thought that Marty was going to win it. Mm-hmm. And so that story of, okay, is he strong enough? Can he win it? Just kind of felt like, well, it already feels like a foregone conclusion. Personally, I see where that argument comes from, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
I was talking to Dan and he said, well, don't you think that, because I said, I was like, yeah, this wasn't as predictable as like a WWE show. Cause I said, I liked it more than WWE pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. And he said, why? And I was like, well, it wasn't as predictable. And he's like, did you really think Scroll was going to be at Okada? And I said, no, but the only reason I thought that was because they announced that for the G1 Supercard.
Right.
That was going to be the match. That's going to be the one where Scroll wins. Yeah, no, it's a bummer if that's the case because they're all friends. Like, I don't like that somebody's catching garbage for that because, like,
I want to know why it seems like it's only falling on Skrull because there's 2 people out there. Okada was out there too, so I don't know what the difference is between.
It could just be the closer association. He should have like known.
I guess I don't.
And it's not that like Okada doesn't speak English; he does. But like, they brought him in
right
for that match. Marty was going to be there no matter what.
Right. I don't know. It sucks for Skrull. It sucks for the Bucks and Mysterio and Ibushi and Bandito and Phoenix.
Yeah, because that 10 minutes was full.
I really, the part about it that bums me out the most is that we didn't get that full 30-minute match.
Yeah.
Because I really felt like they were going to prove to everyone who said that they are only spot monkeys, they can't tell a story, those dummies, because that's what if you genuinely have that opinion of the Bucks,
go watch their New Japan. Yeah.
I love you and I respect you, but you're dumb. That's dumb. And I really think they were going to use that time to truly put the final nail in that argument's coffin.
Yeah.
And instead they had to kind of jam-pack a 30-minute thing in 10 minutes. And it's like, there's that another little hanging point of, well, yeah, but look, all they did was flip and kick out nah. So I'm really hoping that somehow, some way we get that match in its entirety somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
And dear Lord, where isn't Bandito more places that I see? Because that was a guy I really didn't know and I was not familiar with, but blew me away from the first second.
Yeah, Cody said on Twitter.
Sight unseen, but
I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Marco. Homeboy killing it in that Battle Royal.
Well, we're not talking about All In yet. These are the news stories coming out all in.
Oh, my bad.
We'll get there. There's one other one, and then we'll get into it. The other thing that I wanted to mention was Nick Aldis went on Twitter and said, "Some of you may have been surprised or even bothered by seeing Jeff Jarrett at All In. Before you rush to judgment, please take a moment to read this." And then he posts this thing that I'm just going to read real quick because it's a super nice message. And boy, there's just like, this is a good way to look at life in general. "When we discussed the concept of having teams lead us to the ring for the biggest match of our career, the conversation inevitably turned to whom the team members would be. Friends, colleagues, mentors, and put simply, people who have been important figures in our respective tapestries. Jeff is without doubt one of those people to me. What you may not know is that I, like several others, had my own fallout with Jeff and Karen a couple of years ago. I could have written them off and enjoyed taking the moment in the spotlight as an FU to them and anyone else that has wronged me over the years, but that's bad energy, and I made a choice to focus on good energy in the last year, which absolutely led me to that moment at All In. I should point out that despite their initial hesitation, Cody, Matt, and Nick also agreed to accommodate Jeff for this match as a symbolic gesture that we don't dwell on negativity and we don't hang people out to dry forever just because they made a mistake or two. 3 thumbs up. Thank you guys. This was about giving a second chance to the man who gave me my first chance to be a champion. Thank you, Jeff." I just think that is a fantastic message. Whatever your thoughts on Jeff Jarrett aside, Nick Aldis is a consummate professional with the body of a god and
a heart to match, apparently.
Yeah, and I think that is a really, really nice gesture and just a good outlook on life, because I have been trying to be less negative in general for people, not pop culture. Pop culture can get these hands.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to talk about time travel, I'm going to smack you.
But I say, we do podcasts where we talk about pop culture. They can catch these hands. That don't matter.
But yeah, that was just something that I felt like was worth mentioning because that's a super cool thing.
I did think, like, I made sense because I was like, no, that's like one of the most prolific NWA champions of all time.
Right. And especially with his work with TNA, and that was their TNA championship was essentially the NWA championship for a very long time.
It was that belt. Yeah.
I meant to say the NWA championship was essentially the TNA championship, but again, real fried.
Yeah.
So that said, All In as a show was great. We were able to catch we didn't get to see the tag team match, which Dalton doesn't understand time zones.
Yeah, I'm stupid. But like the belts changed hands on a time zone, didn't it?
On a time, what?
Or the pre-show. Wow, my brain went out.
Oh, did SCU win?
Yeah.
I see. I didn't even go and read the results on that
because SCU won because it was a really cool finish because Kazarian got him in a pin, and the other Briscoe was going to break it up, and Scorpio Sky hit him with a knee over the pin to break up the breakup attempt.
Oh, so like he was coming in for the attempt, and Scorpio Sky jumped over the pin attempt and hit him with a jumping knee?
Yeah.
That's neat.
So
that's
SCU
cool.
Unlimited won.
That's awesome. It's just SCU.
Oh, wow.
ATM Machine Bow. There was and then the second match, which we did get to see, thanks to Sadie and her cell phone.
Yeah, Sadie was the champion that day.
We tried so hard to find a legit way to watch 0 Hour, but if you don't have cable or WGN America, there's no way to do it. So we tried, but we did not want to miss Marco. And that Battle Royal in general, but yeah, Marco absolutely killed it. Not only getting the first elimination, but eliminating Moose. He got to go to his Twitter right now. It's at Mr. Funsize, just MR Funsize. And he is taking a poll on what to name his Hurricane Rana spinning codebreaker. My personal favorite, and I think yours too, was the Funsize Surprise.
And that is what it is.
So go vote for that. Marco just blowing up. A lot of people got to showcase some of their stuff. Jordan Grace squatting, Brian Cage was amazing.
A lot of my favorite tweets came out of those two this weekend.
Yeah. Because
they were just like, what's your max? One Brian Cage.
Yeah.
Or it was after he like buckle bombed her. She was just like, I'm just going to start telling my chiropractor I got in a car accident. It's going to be way easier to explain.
I think one that he posted was when she steals your hoodie one too many times. Then it was him launching her.
I forgot the other one. I think it was another one of Cage. It was just like, and to think that I just started liking you this weekend. Like it was stuff like that.
So that was super cool.
Flip winning was really neat.
Flip winning was a cool moment. It kind of got lost on me just because whenever he unmasked, and since we were watching on a phone, I couldn't really tell who it was until it, like, I think either you or Sadie acknowledged who it was, and I was like, oh, okay, that's super cool. We did get that surprise M-Dog MJF match. That was so much fun. The more I see of MJF, the more I love him.
He's really good.
He's better than me. I know it. Stephen Amell, Christopher Daniels. Amell proved that he just gives no Fs. He'll do whatever. So going through the table. Was,
First singles match. 10,000 people, over 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And on pay-per-view.
Was amazing. Christopher Daniels with the Hawkeye Marvel cover on his knee pad.
Apparently was wearing Marvel shirts during Starcast the entire, and not like 3 he like changed every other hour. There was like 15.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels is amazing. Came out in the ring general with the most obnoxious Miz level sunglass goggles I've seen. And I loved him.
Because you were like, I hate him, but I love him. And so he's like, that makes no sense. Like, it's Christopher Daniels. That's why it's that.
I love them because of how much I hate them.
Oh, man. Don Callis, this was like the first time I liked Don Callis on a commentary table. He actually called out Curryman. Like, he was doing bits to that, too.
Someone on Reddit pointed out that Curryman doesn't speak Japanese. He's just saying names of Japanese wrestlers.
What?
Yeah, so I need to go back and watch old Curryman footage.
That makes me happy.
I'm kind of blanking on the rest of the card, especially the order. All In was great. So can you go through Honor Club and purchase it now and watch it?
Oh, well, I mean, don't do that.
Go to New Japan.
Go to New Japan for $9. I'm pretty sure it's playing right now.
Yeah, so you can watch it there. If you haven't seen it and you're a fan of wrestling in general, not even indie wrestling, if you don't know who any of these people are, check it out. The commentary team does a good job of I love the commentary on it, honestly. I wasn't super familiar with most of the guys on there, but they did a fantastic job and everyone just absolutely busted their ass. I won't say there was a bad match, but I thought my least favorite match was probably the Cody Aldis match, just because it felt like they didn't have super great chemistry. Some of the blading, like under the table, kind of took a little long. But that said, the energy of the crowd and the ending and just the emotion and that moment of Cody winning the NWA Championship was a phenomenal moment, and it was a great thing in wrestling.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Undertaker streak. Like at Mania being lost, like it was a god-awful match. The Taker Lesnar, like Aldis and Cody wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But like the end, like that's the only reason anybody will ever say that was a good match, because of the ending. The ending of that really helped that match out.
Yeah. Also, Brandy taking the elbow drop was super
Oh, that
cool.
was good. Yeah, that was
Pharaoh ringside.
That poor puppy.
He loved it.
I hope.
No, Cody. Apparently, the whole reason Cody brought him out there is because of how Pharaoh reacted to the reaction that Pharaoh got.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Brandy was very mad. He said she was shooting daggers at him. It makes me want to go back and rewatch it just to be like, oh, I want to see if I can pick this up.
Yeah.
Pentagon Jr. versus Kenny Omega was disgusting. It genuinely looked like Kenny was going to die multiple times off of those package pile drivers. We got Chris Jericho. My biggest disappointment of the night is we had Chris Jericho and an independent show with a live microphone, and all he did was plug the cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a wasted moment. Again, they had the time constraints, whatever, but Jericho's GOAT. Give him all the time he wants. Janela Hangman I loved that match. The throwing powerbomb miss was straight up hard to watch.
He made it, Asa. It's super important to note that he landed on table.
Yeah.
He was supposed to land on tables, but he still landed on table.
It looked like he only landed with his head on the table.
No, like his body hit the first one.
Did he? Okay.
His head may have grazed the second one, but this is the same man that jumped that Zandig threw off of the top of a building onto a truck full of light tubes and for some reason barbed wire at the bottom that
fair.
Nobody could see.
That's fair. Yeah. God. But I love that match. The Joey Ryan thing, I loved. I thought it was hilarious. Maybe it dragged a little long, especially when you take into account the shortness of time.
If there would have been no time constraint, that was amazing.
And to all of the people who say that is ruining wrestling, why is inflatable penises with a guy who has a super strong dick? Why is that less believable than the undead wizard who murdered his father/manager, who then just appeared on TV like a year later?
Whose brother just showed up that he thought was dead.
Who's a burn victim who doesn't actually have any burns.
Well, there's psychological burns, Asa.
Wrestling has always been stupid. And I genuinely want to know that, like, my favorite response to any of it was Joey Ryan saying, nothing I do is less believable than an Irish whip.
Yeah.
Because he ain't wrong.
Because, yeah, it's one of those things like, it's over. That's the thing. Like, it's making Joey Ryan money.
Okay, I'm sorry. I convinced Billy Hills to watch The Good Place.
Okay.
And he's been kind of messaging me about it since he started it. He just got to the last episode, and he's like, "Wait, what?" Watch The Good Place. That one's free NBC. Although I will accept payment.
Damn right we will. Damn right you will. I didn't say anything. I haven't watched
Okada Skrull was really good.
I loved that match.
I love Pentagon. I think Pentagon Kenny might have been my match of the night.
Yeah.
And
honestly, that's the one, like, that has pretty much been universally the one that I've heard.
Yeah. The women's four-way was incredible. Ashley Rain, Chelsea Green, Tessa Blanchard, and Britt Baker. They tore the house down.
That match was so good, too.
A lot of little nods to, like, their significant others, which was just adorable. And I love Chelsea Green doing the woo-woo-woo, broski blue.
Britt Baker coming out to Adam Cole's old theme. Like, that one warmed Sadie's heart.
Yeah, that was... and they tore it down. I love Tessa Blanchard. The more I see of her, the more I'm just like, how are you not a bigger deal literally everywhere?
And she should be. Like, that... WWE, that is a feud. That is a feud already built in there. You have Ric Flair's daughter versus Tully Blanchard's daughter.
Yeah.
Give her any amount of money she wants.
Yep.
Because
but then they'll make Charlotte the... okay, I take that back. Because Tessa Blanchard is a very believable, very good, just hard-hitting, badass heel.
Yeah.
Like, take no prisoners. Like, she's awesome. I know we're missing stuff, but we're going to keep moving. And then the main event, for what it was a lot of fun. I still just really wish we could have gotten that full 30 minutes. Was there anything that we were missing that you really wanted to hit on for All In? Because all we have left is Raw, SmackDown, and Stride, and we are closing in on an hour, so... Which is not a lot from Raw and SmackDown that I...
No, not a whole lot. I'm trying to think from All In.
Starcast appearances, apparently a lot of people had a good time. So
cool.
I
I heard the CM Punk meet and greet was amazing. I've seen a lot of pictures coming out.
He was very gracious on Twitter about it, too.
Yeah,
about being overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, I'm upset that we couldn't be there.
Yeah.
But, like, it's one of those that we didn't get to be at WrestleMania, but we got to watch it on pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Like, and we had it, like, that was an experience for all of us. And, like, there was enough cool moments where it's like, yeah, no, I'm happy I watched that live. We weren't there, but it was...
And it's like Shannon said last week, too. Like, this was the first time... Like, I always love coming and hanging out at the pay-per-views because I like getting to spend time with you guys when we're not, like, recording something. But this was the first... It was cool being the first time to actually be excited for the show itself, as opposed to just having the show be a reason
where we may have, like, one or two matches we're excited for. We were excited for that whole card.
And we watched the whole thing. Like, I didn't even bring my Xbox or my Switch or anything. So, Raw happened. Just, okay.
Oh, I watched it.
So Kevin Owens comes back to no fanfare after quitting last week and attacking Lashley. Cool. Those matches I'm pretty sure will be really good. That quitting felt so unimpactful and uneventful, and so did his return by proxy. The thing that I hate is how, after spending 3 months being tormented and tortured by Braun Strowman, he is like leading the charge in attacking the Shield to assist Braun Strowman.
It's because he doesn't want to get beat up by Braun Strowman again.
Like, if they give me that reason, cool. I'm actually maybe on board. Like, if they turn Kevin Owens, no, never mind. I don't even want to speak that into the universe.
Chicken shit?
No, I mean, he's already chicken shit. But, like, him actually, like, actively assisting Braun and being, like, the cowardly assistant.
Oh, he's LeFou from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no thank you. But yeah, kinda. But no, he deserves better than that. So that was stupid. I think it was a mistake to turn Braun, because look at the crowd reaction.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing with Becky and Charlotte, which they just did more of this week again. And, dumb. Why? The big thing, though, for me is, why is Drake Maverick, who is your most level-headed, competent general manager, authority figure you have had in years, minus William Regal in NXT, why is he suddenly getting paired with Authors of Pain?
He knows Marco's coming.
Why is he having to wear the Authors of Pain gear? Paul Ellering wasn't in the SWAT vest and MMA gloves. I kind of want to see it now, but this makes no sense. They got rid of Paul Ellering because the Authors of Pain wanted to write their own stories. And now here we go. Oh, well, we didn't do jack with them. Granted, there were visa issues. They weren't able to be on Raw. But now, I don't. And he's here. I don't get it. I didn't watch 205 Live. I don't know if there was any. If you watch 205 Live and they've answered this, please, Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Send us a message. Let us know if they addressed the fact that he was on Raw as a heel, but then if he continued to just be face 205 Live and he didn't mention it at all.
If the GM of 205 Live has 2 heaters that weigh 300 pounds apiece, I am vaguely on board.
If he was a super crappy, corrupt general manager, absolutely. But this turn has come from nowhere.
Yeah.
We have no reason to believe that he is that. So I'm not on board. I like Rockstar Spud a lot. I like Drake Maverick a lot. I really like Authors of Pain. So hopefully this leads to them actually getting to do something. But I don't know. Oh, also, B Team lost the tag titles to Ziggler and McIntyre.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, well, it's easy to forget about because their title reign is going to be super forgetful because the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are going to win them at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So I'm calling my shot now.
Oh, yeah, because they have the Universal belt
so they'll
already.
have the
Which
Universal
also, I want you to know that we did not see that belt once during on Raw.
Well,
Which, I mean, we're used to it.
At least we saw the champion.
Yeah.
SmackDown. Oh, no. Wow. Okay, good. SmackDown. Yeah, I would have been so mad. SmackDown. Joe talked more about Wendy. Joe and AJ brawled. I just want to see that match make it Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Orton and Hardy got video packages instead of live promos, and I thought those worked better. I thought those were pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a unique idea for a feud. I don't want to see Jeff die on the Hell in the Cell, though, after jumping off of that, which I'm pretty sure we're going to have to see.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah. Rusev Day is the number one contendership, or won the number one contendership for the SmackDown tag titles. I believe that happened. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. New Day's champs. I like them. They're fun. What else was there? I felt like there was something else from SmackDown that I wanted to bring up. Asuka came back to help Naomi feud with the Iconics. Waste to Asuka, in my opinion.
Shouldn't have... Asa? She should have passed out at WrestleMania.
I know. But even then, like, if she comes back to this, like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, because she feuded with Carmella. She had those matches with Carmella,
Yeah.
too. And then there was the Daniel Bryan Miz switcheroo that ended up in the brawl. They make Almas look really good against Bryan, which is cool to see.
Well, it's Almas and Bryan. If they have a bad match, something horrible happens.
Right. There is the universe is off kilter.
Yeah.
So, other than that, there wasn't a whole lot in WWE this week. Hell in a Cell is coming up in 2 weeks. It's not this Sunday. I think it's next Sunday.
Yeah,
I believe so. So we'll do a preview of that next week, of course, with hopefully the full gang here. And we are going to finish this out with a preview of this Saturday's Stride Pro Wrestling is doing a show. Do you have
at the Carterville Free Fair now? Okay. We are indoors, and it is still $10 for an adult ticket and $5 for a kid's ticket.
But the admission into the fair itself is free.
You can park for free, and you can get in for free.
Okay.
But for the wrestling show, you have to pay to get in.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Because it's an independent thing. It's not like through
and that's because there's been a lot of confusion over that, but you do pay the $10 for an adult, $5, $1,200 for a kid.
Okay. Just real quick, I need to correct myself. I was entirely wrong. Marco's Twitter handle is just @MarcoStunt.
Oh.
Mr. Funsize is his name. I got those backwards. I'm sorry. So go to @MarcoStunt and vote for the Funsize surprise.
Yeah.
@MarcoStunt. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be it's the Stride Presents Free Fair Face Off. Mm-hmm. We do have a Stride Pro Wrestling Tag Team title match. It looks like it's going to be a 3-way bout. Midwest Monster Hunters. I'm assuming that's going to be Bowen, Jason.
Yeah, that's the duo we've gotten so far.
Yeah, versus the DR Party. I don't know who it is. I'm not worried about it. I don't work for the DR Party. I may be out there, but yeah, no. So it's going to be the DR Party versus the RWO, and I don't really know which members of the Redneck World Order is going to be there for that.
Because that is a 4-man group? 3-man group?
4-man group.
Yeah, it is 4-man.
Yeah. Then we have Wraith and Riser versus Jay Spade and Aaron Brooks. A match stemming off of the last time we were at Carterville at the John A. Logan, Farmerville Hills versus Chris Hargis.
Yes.
And then it looks like this is going to be our main event. I'm not a fan of this. This is not funny, Sam. It is Heath Hatton versus Axe Allward.
Nope. That is not the main event.
Oh, Heath Hatton with Axe
There
Altworth.
you
Sorry,
go.
it's late. Versus Tony Flood.
It's not late. This is the earliest we've come to a close on a PW in a while.
Versus Tony Flood and Jay Wellington Beauregard. This is not okay. Jay Wells is not a wrestler, but yet he's in a tag match. And I'm only upset because, like, that's my paycheck.
I mean, he shouldn't be posting all those training montages. So
It's because Sam keeps making him do stuff. The last time he tried to make him do stuff, he made me do something, and I almost died. So both times, both by Billy. Hargis, kill him. Just take him out.
no way to talk to your father. So that again is the Carterville Free Fair. The tickets will be $10 for adults, $5 for children. Do you know the bell time on that?
Saturday, September 8th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
That is
so-
Central Time, so it'll be 6:30 p.m.
Yes. So check it out. Stride is a great company. A lot of great people are there. And they have been nothing but kind to us. So check them out. Support them. Support indie wrestling in general. We are only 5 minutes over. We did it. So
And you know what? On the happiest of Rusev days.
yeah, but now I still got to do the plugs though. So you went too early.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's why you don't get to do things. We took Austin Lane's catchphrase from you. Don't even try to steal Rusev Day from me, because I will come at you. I will delete this episode out of spite.
Do you think
and
I'm worried
also
about
because-
Austin Lane?
And also because I'm very self-conscious and I'm pretty sure this was terrible.
That was good.
So speaking of plugs, Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Give us a like. Our numbers are through the roof. We can't figure it out. We want to know who you are. Identify yourselves. If you sat through this, like, I'll mail you a gold star, or I'll send you one on Facebook Messenger, because that way I don't have to pay for postage, and I am super broke. But yeah, let us know who you are. Interact with us. We're Shannon and I kind of were talking about being a little bit more, having more of a social media presence through Podzilla about posting things. So we're hoping to do that. So if you're listening to this, you like what we're doing, give us a like on Facebook. We don't like go crazy about posting 20 times a day, so it's not like something you're gonna have to immediately mute. I promise. Also, if you really, really like us, you can go to patreon.com/Podzilla1985. I don't have the name directly in front of me because I am a monster, but we do have a new patron, which is super exciting. We appreciate anyone who spends any of their hard-earned money on us. I say it every week, but we were just able to buy a new power adapter for our soundboard through money from the people who support us on Patreon. So that is always greatly appreciated, and it really tells us, that you enjoy what you're doing on top of just your listens, which, again, are more than enough. I love that you're listening to this. If you still are, you're a trooper. Podzilla1985.com. You can go back and listen to good episodes that we've done. Old PWUs, Mr. 100 5-Star Man's, Nerd Up. Any of those old shows you can sort. They're sorted by category. Go back and listen to the interview Nerd Up we did with Ian Dallas for What Remains of Edith Finch. That was a lot of fun and super cool.
If you like wrestling, go back and listen to our interview with Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
Or
Jerry Lynn, who was also at All In.
he was.
So was Earl Hebner. That was cool. Yeah, so Podzilla1985, patreon.com/Podzilla1985, facebook.com/Podzilla1985, youtube.com/Cape Championship Wrestling. The newest episodes of Chaos go up on YouTube every Wednesday, but you can see them first on Fox 23 KBSI at 5 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Set your DVR. And on that, we will do it. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back maybe tomorrow night. If not tomorrow night, Sunday for sure for Nerd Up. Stay tuned and we will keep you posted. We love you very much. We appreciate you for listening, and have a great night on this Dalton Blessed Rusev Day.